Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 3 of This Week in Raider Baseball. You are listening to Nick Rush, and today we are going to discuss the 3 games that the Riverdale varsity baseball team will compete in this week. It all starts tonight with a very interesting matchup. It is an out-of-state game, as the Raiders will take on the Heritage High School Mountaineers, a school coming to Riverdale all the way from Maryville, Tennessee. The team has made a lengthy 12-hour and 4-minute bus ride to get to Fort Myers today. Let's tell you a little bit about the visiting team. Heritage High School represents Class AAA District 4 in the Tennessee Secondary Schools Athletic Association. They compete in the division along with 7 other teams. Heritage High School is coming from the city of Maryville, which is included as a part of the Knoxville metropolitan area. Unfortunately, as of right now, the Max Preps page of the team looks to be a bit outdated, so it is unknown on what the team record currently is as of right now and what the scores of their previous games were. But let's tell you what we do know. In the 2014 season, the Tennessee squad went 19-13 throughout the year as they were coached by Robbie Bennett. Bennett has returned to the coaching position for this season as well. The Mountaineers went 5-9 when playing against teams in their district, and while enjoying their stay here in Southwest Florida, they will play Riverdale tonight and then travel over to play the Estero Wildcats tomorrow night. Afterwards, they will play one last game in the state of Florida as they will compete against Dunbar High School on the 19th. So when you think about it, the team is playing 3 games in 3 days and having to travel 12 hours to Florida and then 12 hours to get back to Tennessee, which, by the way, is a combined 24 hours, so nearly a whole day of traveling at the end of this. It has to be overwhelming for those ball players. Home field advantage has never been better for the Raiders, on the other hand. And speaking of the Raiders, Riverdale comes into tonight's game as usual, representing Class 7A District 11. Let's take a look at how things are going in the standings. At the top in the number 1 spot, it's the 9-2 Gulf Coast Sharks. They are currently on a 4-game winning streak as they play at Park Vista Cobras tonight. Underneath them in that second spot, it's the Riverdale Raiders, who are 6-5 coming into tonight's game against Heritage High School. They hope to extend their winning streak to 6 games. In the third spot, it's the Fort Myers Green Wave, who are 6-6, and they will play versus Charlotte in downtown Fort Myers tonight. And at the bottom of the list, it's none other than the Charlotte Tarpons themselves, who are 2-7, as they play at Fort Myers tonight once again. Tonight's game is the finale of our 6-game homestand, and it is also the second to last home game of the 2015 regular season. After tonight's contest, Riverdale will go on a 2-game road trip to take on the East Lee County Jaguars this Thursday night with a to-be-announced start time, and they will wrap it all up with a divisional rivalry rematch at the Charlotte Tarpons on Friday night, with the first pitch taking place at 7 p.m. The final home game for the Raiders will take place next Tuesday, March 24th, when they will do battle with the Gulf Coast Sharks for the second and final time in the season. The last time the 2 divisional enemies faced off was on February 24th, when the Sharks defeated Riverdale by a 4-1 outcome on the campus of Gulf Coast High School. And that game, it's going to be a huge matchup for Riverdale, as the Raiders and the Sharks have been fighting for that first place spot in the division for quite some time now. And as we wrap up today's episode of This Week in Raider Baseball, I would like to remind you that if you would like to come out to any of our Riverdale home baseball games, tickets are just $4 for any seat in the house. And if you cannot come out to tonight's game, then remember that there will be an online audio YouTube broadcast hosted by yours truly, Nick Rush. Remember that you can listen to all of the Raider varsity baseball broadcasts on YouTube. All you have to do is just search the name Nick Rush in the bar. That's spelled Nickroesch. Also, we would like to remind Riverdale fans, students, staff, and alumni to give a follow to Riverdale on social media. The school is on various social media sites such as Twitter, Instagram, Vine, YouTube, and much more under the name Riverdale Reads. Thank you for listening to today's edition of This Week in Raider Baseball, and we hope that you can join us for tonight's game as the Raiders will go head-to-head against the Heritage High School Mountaineers. The game will begin at 7 p.m. and will take place on none other than Pringle Field at RHS. Once again, thanks for listening to today's edition of the show, and we hope that you can join us for Raider Baseball this week.